Analogies from the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad-gita. There are not many, there are a few of them. So we will discuss them one by one. So last time we had discussed that analogies help us to understand concrete or difficult to conceive topics by giving examples which can relate to us in our daily lives. That is why analogies are very effective. Examples we say, right? E.g. we write. Whenever you are writing example given, right? E.g. So analogies, in fact it is one of the qualities of a good teacher to give proper analogies and examples while teaching. It is one of the teaching tools, right? Analogies. And Lord Krishna being Jagat Guru, he is the supreme spiritual master of the entire universe. Therefore, he has used a lot of analogies in the Bhagavad-gita, which can help us understand complex topics. So let us continue our discussions on analogies. So last time we had seen the analogies from first 6 chapters. Now we shall see from chapters 7 to 12. Today we will see. The first one, as you can see on the screen, 7th chapter, 7th shloka. Let us all chant this shloka. Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. I had told last time, if you can find this iva in any shloka, it means that there is a comparison. It's a simile. Iva means like, just like. It's a simile. So here Krishna is saying, Mattaha parataram na anyat. So what is the meaning? Beyond myself, superior, there is nothing else. There is nothing superior to me. Kinchid asti dhananjaya. Kinchid means something. Asti means there is. Right? Now this word asti is interesting. From this word comes astika and nastika. Astika means one who says there is God. Na astika means one who says there is no God. So asti means there is. Right? Like we use namaste. There also this asti comes. Namaste means what? Namam asti. There is nothing which is mine. That is the meaning of namaste. There is nothing which is mine. Everything belongs to the Lord. So asti means there is. Dhananjaya, O conqueror of wealth. Why is Arjuna called Dhananjaya? Rajasuya Yajna. When Yudhishthir Maharaj performed Rajasuya Yajna, Arjuna conquered many kingdoms and he brought a huge amount of wealth for the performance of Rajasuya Yajna. And that is when Arjuna got this name Dhananjaya. Right? So Dhananjaya, Arjuna has got Dashanama, 10 names he has got, Arjuna. And this is one of his names, Dhananjaya. And then, Kinchid asti Dhananjaya, O winner of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Now Krishna could have stopped it there. He could have just said, there is no truth superior to me, I am the absolute truth. But in the second part of the shloka, he is giving us an analogy. What is that? Mayi sarvam idam protam. Mayi means in me, sarvam, all that is existing, idam, which we see, protam means strung. Strung. Everything that is existing is strung on me. How? Sutre manigana iva. Sutra means thread. Manigana means pearls. Iva, like. Just like pearls are strung on a thread in a necklace. Suppose somebody is wearing a pearl necklace. Now only pearls are visible. But can the pearls stand like that in air? No. It needs a support. And that support is the thread. But the thread is invisible to our eyes. We don't see the thread. We only see the pearls. Right? But, so Krishna is saying, just like thread is the support structure on which the pearls are all resting, in the same way, everything that is existing in this cosmic manifestation is resting on me. I may be invisible, but I am the truth on which everything is resting. So, absolute truth means that which is supporting all other truths. Just like this building is so big, but it is sustained by the foundation. Or a tree may be so big, but it is standing there because of the roots. The roots is the support structure. In the same way, Krishna is the support for everything that exists. The foundation of this building and the roots of the tree are invisible. But without them, we know neither the building nor the tree can stand. In the same way, Krishna is in the background. He is invisible. But it is He who is supporting everything that exists. So this is what Krishna is trying to convey here. So, Parataram, the greatest truth, the supreme absolute truth. If you read the Bhagavatam, in the introduction, Prabhupada explains the difference between absolute truth and God. What is the difference between these two terms? God means some controller, but absolute truth is much greater understanding than God. Absolute truth means from whom everything emanates. The ultimate source of all things that exists. What is that called? The absolute truth. So absolute truth has got two important qualities. If something has to be called as absolute truth, Srila Prabhupada says, it has to satisfy two characteristics. What is the first one?
It is true in all circumstances.
Yeah. It is true in past, present and future. All the three tenses. The absolute truth exists. It is true. Right? It's not that in the past it was not there, now it has come all of a sudden. Then you cannot call it as absolute truth. Absolute truth exists always, eternally. Past, present and future. Second characteristic is what? All other truths depend on the absolute truth for their existence. In other words, absolute truth is independent of any other entity. That is called absolute truth. In this necklace analogy, the pearls are depending on the thread, not the vice versa. Thread is not depending on the pearls. Pearls are depending on the thread for it to be in the necklace. In the same way, all other truths are depending on the absolute truth. Now, for example, if I say, now the time is 3:36 p.m. Is this an absolute truth or a relative truth? Why it is relative truth?
Because only in India.
Only in India and in this IST, the place where IST, Indian Standard Time, is followed, at this point of time, the time is 3:56 or 3:57, whatever it is. If at the same instant, if you go to some other London or some other place, it will not be 3:56 p.m. Therefore, this sentence that the time now is 3:56 is not absolute truth. It is relative. It is dependent on time, place, and the system of how far it is from the Greenwich Mean Time, from the standard international date line, how far it is. So what time zone you are talking about. So all that, it depends. So like this, we are all dealing with relative truths in our daily life. But all these relative truths are dependent on the absolute truth for their existence. So that truth, which is independent of any such external factors for it to exist, that is called absolute truth. And it exists in all three phases of time: past, present and future. And Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-gita is presenting to us that absolute truth is a person, and that is Krishna. So this verse is teaching us, 7.7, that absolute truth is Krishna. Krishna is the absolute truth. Everything exists because Krishna is supporting, sustaining. So this Sutre Manigana Iva is very beautiful. So whenever you see a necklace, you should remember this shloka, 7.7, that Krishna is the invisible thread upon which every other truth is existing. So Prabhupada said, one nice thing Prabhupada said, Prabhupada compared each devotee to a flower. And he said, you're all very nice flowers, and I want to make a nice garland and offer to Krishna. So Prabhupada considered that each devotee is like a flower, and he is in the process of making a garland with each devotee, and make a nice garland and offer to Krishna. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Huh? Who is the string there? It is Srila Prabhupada, his mercy. So Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So alone we may be there, alone, but alone you cannot, do much to Krishna. First of all, being alone and practicing Krishna consciousness itself is a big challenge. Correct? So in Kali Yuga, unity is strength. Everyone has realized this. Correct? That's why they make so many, groups and conferences, fan clubs and all these things, clubs they make. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also realizing this, he introduced Sankirtana. In Sangha, in association of devotees, you glorify Krishna. Then you are safe from the onslaughts of Kali. You can nicely practice Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees. So Srila Prabhupada's mercy, if we can receive and we can stay in the association of devotees, then Prabhupada is ready to make a garland of all of us and offer to Krishna. And that is the perfection of our life. Right? So this is one interesting analogy. So can you all fill in the form in that handout? What will you fill?
Main object.
Main object is what? Huh? What is the main object? Compared to pearls on a thread. Huh? Everything, all truths, all that exists, you can write. All that exists is compared to pearls on a thread. And what is the common feature?
They are dependent on their mother.
Yeah, we are all dependent, or we are resting on Krishna. And the common feature is thread is invisible. In the same way, in a necklace, thread is invisible. In the same way, Krishna remains in the background, invisible. But he is the one who is supporting everything that exists. Did you understand this analogy?
Yes.
Yeah. That means if you just have suppose if you see a necklace, right, you can ask people, give the necklace to people and ask, can you tell me what do you understand from this? Different people will give different opinions. They'll say this necklace is so nice, it is very costly. Or somebody may say gold rate is increasing nowadays. So many things people can say. But you can quote this 7.7 and say, see, in this necklace, thread is the one which is holding all the things in place, but thread is invisible. So thread is a support structure. In the same way, Krishna is the support, and everything, all of us, we are resting on him. So you can explain like that. Okay, let's go to the next one. 9.6. So what is 9.6? I'll just display it. Yeah. यथाकाशस्थितो नित्यं वायुः सर्वत्र गो महान् तथा सर्वाणि भूतानि मत्स्थानीत्युपधारया. So 99% whenever yatha comes, tatha also will come in the same shloka. Yatha means just like or as much as. Tatha means similarly. That means it is also a simile, a comparison here. Yatha akasha sthito nityam, akasha sthitaha, situated in space, nityam, always. Vayuhu sarvatra go, vayu means wind, sarvatra gaha means blowing everywhere, mahan means great. Tatha sarvani bhutani, similarly, everything, all created beings, matsthaniti, matsthani means situated in me, iti, thus, upadharaya, try to understand. Please understand from me, Krishna is saying. What is Krishna saying? As the mighty wind, mahan vayuhu, blowing everywhere, sarvatra gaha, always rests, nityam sthitaha. Nityam sthitaha, in ethereal space, akashaha. Know that, upadharaya, in the same way, tatha, all beings, sarvani bhutani, rest in me. They rest in me, matsthani. So what is Krishna saying here? Wind is blowing everywhere, but it is situated within the space. Wind cannot go beyond space. There is nothing beyond space. Everywhere there is space. So even though wind can move anywhere, that's why it is mighty, but it is still within the framework of akasha, space. In the same way, all beings are resting in me, Krishna is saying. Everyone is resting in me, in my energy, within me. I am sustaining everybody. Matsthani. Everything is situated within me. So that is the analogy given here. So, what is Lord Krishna trying to say here? What is he saying? He is using the word Mahan also here in this shloka. Mighty wind. What does it mean? Yeah. However powerful the wind may be, the wind can create tornadoes, it can, uproot huge trees, many times we see that in disasters. It is very powerful, but still it cannot escape the framework of the space. It is sustained within the space. In the same way, there may be so many living beings as powerful as great devatas like Brahma, Shiva, Indra. They're all very, very big, powerful personalities. Their power is at the universal level, very powerful. But they are all sustained by me, Krishna is saying. Matsthani, they're all resting in me. This is a very important thing. Now, that means it is again saying the same thing what Krishna said in the 7th chapter, 7th shloka. He is saying this in another way, that there is no truth superior to me. There is nothing beyond me. However powerful an entity or an energy might be, it is all resting on me. I am the source, I am the support. This is what Krishna is saying in this shloka. Let us read one interesting thing. The purport, Prabhupada says, For the ordinary person, it is almost inconceivable how the huge material creation is resting in him. But the Lord is giving an example which may help us to understand. Space is the biggest manifestation we can conceive. The cosmic manifestation rests in space. Space permits the movement of even the atoms and up to the greatest planets, the sun and the moon. Although the sky or wind or air is great, still it is situated within space. Space is not beyond the sky. Similarly, all the wonderful cosmic manifestations are existing by the supreme will of God, and all of them are subordinate to that supreme will. Where does Krishna show this? In which Leela he shows this? All the wonderful cosmic manifestations are existing by the supreme will of God, and all of them are subordinate to that supreme will. Yeah. So Krishna performed one Leela called as Mrida Bhakshana Leela. Mrida means mud. Bhakshana means he ate. He ate mud. Then all the cowherd boys and headed by Balaram, they all went and lodged a complaint against Krishna's eating mud. Against Krishna. With whom? With Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda came and asked him to open his mouth. And at that time, what did Mother Yashoda see? She saw the entire cosmic manifestation within that tiny mouth of little Krishna. Right? So everything is existing within Krishna. Last month we sang the Damodara Ashtaka song. What is the last stanza of Damodara Ashtaka? Namaste stu damne spurad deepti dhamne Tvadiyodarayatha Vishwasya Dhamne. Tvadiya Udara. Udara means belly. O Krishna, in the last stanza, first Satyavrata Muni is saying, O Krishna, I bow down to the Dama, the rope which bound you. Then he says, I bow down to your Udara. I bow down to your belly. Why? Because your belly is Vishwasya Dhamne. It is the resting place of the entire cosmic manifestation. The entire universe is resting within your belly. It is Vishwasya Dhama. Dhama means abode, the resting place. So the entire Vishwa is lying within your belly. And that is what Mother Yashoda saw when Krishna opened his mouth. So Krishna, it is existing. Mat Sthani, Krishna is saying in this shloka, Mat Sthani, situated in me. Sarvani Bhutani, all created beings are situated within me, Krishna is saying. We should note that anything that Krishna is saying here, he is not theoretically saying that. He has practically demonstrated it. So many Leelas of the Lord you can study. These features can be reflected by Krishna in those Leelas. So for example, Krishna showing the entire Vishwarupa within his tiny mouth confirms that Sarvani Bhutani Matsthani, everything that exists is situated within me, Krishna is saying. Right? Let us see what Srila Prabhupada says. As we generally say, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus everything is moving under His will. By His will, everything is being created, everything is being maintained, and everything is being annihilated. Still He is aloof from everything, as space is always aloof from the activities of the atmosphere. So the space is the background in which so many activities are happening in the atmosphere. But the space itself is unaffected by the things happening in the atmosphere. Suppose now we say that, it is very cold. We are all experiencing winter now. Now there are changes in the atmosphere. Temperature has fallen down. Early morning it is so cold. We are shivering. We are wearing, hot, warm clothes and all. But all these changes, is it affecting the heavenly bodies? Or is it affecting the space? No, not at all. It is affecting only one part of this planet. Winter is going on. Correct? So in the same way, Krishna is unaffected by all the changes that are happening in all the living entities. That is the meaning. So another important learning from this, can you tell me what is the other learning from this? Just based on what we read just now from Srila Prabhupada purport. Krishna is the unchanging reality. He is unaffected. So why should we take shelter of Krishna and not any Devata? Because all the Devatas are affected by various things within this material world. Whereas Krishna is like the Akasha, the space, which is holding everything, but he himself is not affected by anything. He is not affected. Therefore, he is capable of giving protection to his surrendered devotees because he himself is not affected. Right? Okay. In the scriptures, in the Ishopanishad, there is one description made about the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is described as Apapa Vittham. Apapa Vittham means what? He is?
Prophylactic.
Means what?
He cleanses everyone, uncontaminated.
He is uncontaminated. So he is not affected by any sin. He is not touched by any sin. That is Apapa Vidham. Okay. Many people talk about, oh, Krishna danced with young girls, or Krishna stole the garments of the gopis. Oh, this is a sinful activity. Or Krishna danced with the wives of somebody else, the cowherd men. In the dead of night he danced. So why is Krishna performing such sinful activity? But Ishopanishad says Krishna is Apapa Vidham. He is not affected by your so-called sin. And Srila Prabhupada gives an example quoting from the scriptures. Like the sun evaporates water from all over. The sun also evaporates water from urine. But is the sun becoming affected? Is the sun getting contaminated? So should we sterilize the sun? No, the sun itself is the greatest sterilizing agent. So even if it evaporates, if the sun rays evaporate, urine, it is not at all contaminated. In the same way, we should not think that Krishna is an ordinary person of this material world. We should not try to see Krishna's activities through the lens of materialism. Krishna's activities are not at all materialistic. They belong to the spiritual domain. Where does Krishna say this? 4th chapter, 9th verse. 9th or 7th verse? 9th verse. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjan. So Krishna says, if you understand the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities in this material world, you will become qualified to get out of the cycle of birth and death and come back to me. So just by knowing Krishna's activities, if we can become fully cleansed, then how can Krishna's activities themselves be materially contaminated? It's not possible. So through this analogy of Krishna being detached from everything, unaffected from everything, like the Akasha, we can understand that Krishna is untouched by any sin. Okay, let's go to the next shloka. 11th chapter, 5th verse. Okay, can you please fill that table for the previous? What is the main object?
All beings.
Huh?
All beings.
What is that?
All beings of
No, what is the main object?
Krishna.
All beings. Okay. All beings are resting in. All beings and Krishna. They are the two main objects. They are compared to what? Wind and space. All beings are compared to wind. And space is Krishna. So the common feature is, just as the wind pervades space, so do beings remain in Krishna. Let's go to the next 11th chapter, shloka number 5. Please repeat. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Pashya me Partha Rupani Shatashotha Sahasrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kriti Nicha. So Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, Pashya, just see, me, mine, Partha, O son of Pritha, Rupani Shatashaha, forms, hundreds of forms. Shatashaha means hundreds. Atha also Sahasrashaha, thousands. Hundreds and thousands of forms were displayed by Krishna in his universal form. Nana Vidhani, variegated, different types of forms Krishna showed. Divyani, all of them are divine. Nana Varna, they were of different colors. And Akritini, they were of different forms. Nana Varna, Nana Akriti. Akriti means forms, shapes. So now Prabhupada's translation is interesting, right? Even though there is no simile in the shloka, there is no comparison in the shloka, but Prabhupada is adding something in the translation. Let us see that. Prabhupada says, the blessed Lord said, my dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, behold now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine forms, multicolored like the sea. So here Prabhupada is adding this here, like the sea. Okay. So you may say, oh, it is not there in the original shloka. Sea is not at all there in the shloka. But why Prabhupada is adding here, right? So Prabhupada is comparing Krishna's universal form to the sea, to an ocean. Now in the sea, you find different types of living entities. You also find different kinds of precious stones, pearls, are of different colors, right? You will find pearls deep into the, if you go to the deep ocean bed, you will find pearls, you will find varieties of precious stones also. So Prabhupada is comparing the multi forms Krishna displayed in the universal form to that of a sea. Now sea, ocean is called Ratna Garbha. Ratna Garbha means within its, Garbha means within it, the ocean holds various kinds of precious stones, Ratna. And not only that, there are various kinds of living entities also existing within the ocean. So two kinds of things exist within ocean. Living entities, the various aquatic plants and animals, right from unicellular organisms up to huge blue whales, which are the biggest mammals on the planet. That means varieties of life forms exist in the sea. Now in the universal form which Krishna showed to Arjuna, also these two realities were comprehended there. He showed both spirit and matter. These are the two varieties, two types of truth that exist in the entire cosmic manifestation, right? Spirit and matter. Matter is inert, spirit is full of life. So Krishna displayed both the inert matter, the 8 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, he displayed, plus he displayed the life forms also. So in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad-gita, if you read, Krishna gives a list of his opulences. Only the prominent opulences he gives a list. All these opulences can be categorized into two. Some of them are material, matter, some of them are displaying life symptoms. For example, Krishna says, among the elephants I am Airavata. Now this is an example for a living entity. Airavata is a living entity. It's the elephant of Indra, right? Then Krishna also says, among the immovable things I am Himalayas. Now this is an example for inert matter. So there is matter and there is spirit. Conscious and unconscious. Two types of entities. Both of them are present in the ocean also. And that is why Srila Prabhupada is adding here, like the sea, which has both life, living creatures, and varieties of gems and other precious stones. Within the universal form of Krishna, Arjuna was able to see varieties of living entities and his different energies. Sentient beings and non-sentient energies also were seen. So what is the main object here? Krishna's divine multiform opulences. They are compared to what? They are compared to the various entities present in the multicolored sea. What is a common feature? Variegatedness is the common feature, right? There are various energies of the Lord, opulences of the Lord, plus there are various entities in the ocean. Whenever you are giving a comparison, there has to be at least one common feature between the main object and to the entity who you are comparing to. If there is no commonality, then it becomes what? It becomes a joke. Okay? Suppose if somebody is there, let's say I'm just giving an example. Don't take me to be a racist person. Suppose somebody is a dark complexion person. And if you tell, see, his face is like the full moon. What are you trying to say? Huh? You are actually making fun of him. You know it is very obviously visible. He is a dark complexion. Instead of comparing it to some dark object, you are saying his face is like a full moon. That means you are trying to make fun of him. There is no commonality. What is the commonality between the two? There is no common. So therefore, whenever you are comparing two entities, that is called samana dharma. There has to be at least one common feature between the two. So here, the sea and the universal form of the Lord, they both hold varieties of forms. Therefore, that is the commonality. Okay, let us go to the next one. What is the next one? 11.12. In the same chapter. Yeah, this is very beautiful. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapaduttita Yadi Bhasadrushi Sasyad Bhasastasya Mahatmanaha. Okay, so Divi in the sky, Surya Sahasrasya, thousands of suns, Bhavet, there were, Yugapat, simultaneously, Utthita means present or rising, Utthana means to rise, so Utthita means to rise. If thousands of suns simultaneously rose in the sky, Utthita, they rose. Yadi, if that phenomena would happen, then Bhasadrushi, Sadrushi means like that. Okay? Similar to, like, that is the meaning of Sadrushi. Krishna uses this word in the 4th chapter. Does anyone remember? In the 4th chapter? Sadrusham? Krishna uses one phrase. He says, Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram idam uttamam. Sadrusham means like this. Krishna is saying, Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram idam uttamam. There is nothing as pure as the knowledge which I am revealing to you in the Bhagavad-gita. Krishna says, Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram idam Uttamam, transcendental knowledge. So like this there is nothing, Krishna says. Sadrusha means like this. Okay. So sometimes, it is, this Sadrusha is also used in Kannada language also. So they say, Naraka Sadrushavagittu. If a situation is very, full of miseries, or they say it was like Naraka, it was like hell, hellish. Naraka Sadrusham. Sadrusham is a like that it is. Sadrusham, like that it was. So Krishna is saying, here Sanjaya is saying, Yadi bha sadrushi sa syat, like that, bhasaha. Bhasa means effulgence. So here the word bha is used 2 times, no? Where is that? Bhaha means light. Bhasha, bhasaha, effulgence. Both mean light. So what is the meaning of this? Bha is a root word in Sanskrit which means light. Like Bhaskara. Sun is called Bhaskara. Bha plus Karaha. Kara means to make. One who creates effulgence, one who creates light, he is called Bhaskara, sun. Bha. So Prabhakara is another name for the sun. Prabha. Krishna uses this word Prabha somewhere in the Bhagavad-gita. Prabhasmi Shashi Suryayoho. Which chapter? 7th chapter. Krishna says, I am the I am the taste of water. After that, I am the effulgence of the sun and the moon. Prabhasmi, I am. Prabha asmi, I am the effulgence of Shashi and Surya. Shashi means moon, Surya means sun. So there also, so there is one place connected with the pastimes of Krishna, where Krishna wound up his leelas. What is that place called? Prabhasa Kshetra. That is in Somnath. Right now there is a Jyotirlinga there, Somnath. It is called Prabhasa Kshetra. Why? Because the moon god came there and performed tapasya to please Lord Shiva, to become free from his curse. Who had cursed him? Daksha Prajapati, his father-in-law. Chandra's father-in-law. Chandra had 27 daughters, or all of them are nakshatras. They were all given in marriage to moon god. But this moon god Chandra, he was more inclined to the first queen, first wife. What is that first eldest wife? Rohini. And all the other 26 daughters, they went and lodged complaint like this. Always my husband is spending time with Rohini only. He is not loving us. So Daksha becomes angry and curses this moon to become what? What is the curse? Kshaya. Kshaya Roga. May you get leprosy. No, Kshaya is not leprosy. Kushta is leprosy. What is Kshaya? Kshaya means, I don't know what it is called in English. So, may you lose all your effulgence. Like that. This is the curse Daksha gave. So he lost his effulgence. Then he came to this Somnath, and there he prayed to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva granted him the benediction, restored the Prabha. And he said, but the curse will be having effect. 15 days you will increase your effulgence, and 15 days your effulgence will gradually come down. That's why we have the Shukla Paksha, where the effulgence of the moon is increasing. What is that called? The period of the waning moon, waxing moon. And then there is Krishna Paksha, the period of the waning moon. 15 days he increases, comes to Purnima, and then again he decreases. So Prabha, anyway, that's the story. So Bhasaha means effulgence. So Tasya Mahatmanaha, of the great Lord. Sanjaya is saying, if hundreds of thousands of suns rose up at once into the sky, they might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. might means it is just an analogy to give a idea. If thousands of suns rose simultaneously in the sky, what will be the brilliance that you can experience? You can compare the universal form's effulgence to that kind of a brilliance, that kind of a light. Who is saying this? Sanjaya is saying. So what is our understanding here? So here, let us see what Prabhupada says. What Arjuna saw was indescribable. Yet Sanjaya is trying to give a mental picture of that great revelation to Dhritarashtra. Neither Sanjaya nor Dhritarashtra were present, but Sanjaya, by the grace of Vyasa, could see whatever happened. Thus he now compares the situation as far as it can be understood to an imaginable phenomenon. What is the imaginable phenomenon? Thousands of suns. It's just to give us a mental, it's just to give us an idea. We cannot say that that universal form's effulgence was limited to only 1000 suns, but just to evoke a mental picture, Sanjaya is giving this description to Dhritarashtra and to all of us. If thousands of suns simultaneously rose, whatever brilliance will be there in the sky, you can imagine that kind of brilliance the universal form had. Right? So it is, Prabhupada is saying, he's giving a mental picture. Now this is what analogies do. Analogies evoke a mental picture in our... Otherwise, how do we describe what is the universal form? How brilliant it was? It's not possible to describe. Prabhupada is saying it is indescribable. But what we can imagine, okay, one sun is this much light is coming. 1000 suns, how much light? Or maybe like that it was. Just to give us an idea, this kind of analogy is given. So what is the main object here? The effulgence of the Supreme Person. That is the main object compared to 1000 suns blazing together. And what is the common feature? Their great effulgence. Okay. Next one is in the same chapter, 28th shloka. 11th chapter, 28th shloka. Let us see. So here also yatha tatha, one verse is there. Please repeat. Yatha nadinam bahavombu vegaha samudrameva vimukha dravanti tatha tavami naraloka vira vishanti vaktranya vijihvalanti Vishanti vaktrani vijvalanti. Vijvalanti. So yatha as nadinam of the rivers, bahavaha many, ambu vegaha waves of the waters. Ambu means water. Samudram ocean. So yatha nadinam bahavombu vegaha samudram evavi mukha dravanti. Samudram means ocean, eva certainly, abhimukhaha towards, dravanti gliding. Just like rivers with great force, they flow towards the ocean. That is the meaning of the first two lines. Just like rivers flow with vega, with great force towards the ocean, in the same way, tatha, as I said, yatha, tatha is there. Tatha, tava, your, that is the Lord's universal form, ami, all those, naraloka viraha, the kings of the human society, vishanti, they enter. In fact, vish, the dhatu vish means to enter. The Supreme Lord is called Vishnu because he has entered the Vishwa. Vish means to enter. So Vishanti, all the human kings Naraloka Viraha, the great warriors of this human society, they are Vishanti, they are entering. What are they entering? Vaktrani, into the mouths of the universal form, which were all Abhivijwalanti. Jwalanti means they were all blazing forth. Okay, if you have seen the universal form, from some of the mouths there is fire coming out. And into that fire, these Naraloka Veera, the great warriors, they are all entering helplessly. Example given is, just like river water is moving into the ocean. No one has to tell the river to go and move into the ocean. Natural phenomena, it moves towards the ocean, right? So, what does it show? What is the meaning of this? Let us read the translation. As the rivers flow into the sea, so all these great warriors enter your blazing mouths and perish. Who is saying this? Arjuna is saying. So what is the meaning of this? All are doomed. Okay, all the warriors are going to die. That Krishna had told in the previous. Now he is showing it also. Another thing is what?
Krishna is the eternal Kala.
Yeah. All of us, we are helplessly forced by the waves of Kala to die. No one can stop death. So the universal form, Krishna is showing his Kala Swarupa. So Krishna had told previously to Arjuna, I will show you whatever you desire to see in the present, past and future. So Krishna is showing the outcome of the war of Kurukshetra to Arjuna. What is the outcome? All this Drona, Krupa, Bhishma, all of them are entering into my mouth. They are going to die. In other words, already as Kala I have killed them. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. You become a instrument in my hand. Take the credit and glories. This is what Krishna is telling. So this analogy is very interesting. This water is flowing towards the sea and nobody can stop it. It's the law of nature, has to go. Even if you construct a dam, how much will you stock water? You will be forced to open the floodgates and it has to go and join the ocean, right? Kunti Maharani uses a similar analogy in her prayers towards the end. What is that verse?
Our thoughts will be...
Verse, shloka. Tvayi me nanya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit rathim udvahatad adha gange vaugham udhanvati. What is the meaning? May my
thoughts be...
mind be constantly absorbed
in your thoughts.
in you, just like the Ganga water is flowing towards the ocean without any hindrance. The word hindrance is used. So, hindrance, Ganga water has no hindrance to go and join the ocean. In the same way, Kunti Maharani is saying, may my mind be constantly absorbed in you, Krishna, without any hindrance. Ananya Vishaya. Let my mind not go to any other Vishaya, only to you, only towards you, Krishna. She says that. So here, what is the main object? Warriors entering into the glazing mouths of the universal form. That is the main object, right? Naraloka Veera. Warriors are entering into, great warriors entering into the blazing mouths. And it is compared to what? Rivers flowing into the sea. The common feature is what? Inevitability. It is inevitable. Kala, no one can stop the Kala's action. And the same phenomena Arjuna is explaining through another analogy in the next shloka. Let us see that. Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patanga vishanti nashaya samruddha vegaha तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति स लोकाः तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः. So here also yatha tatha has come. Yatha just like, tatha in the same way. Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patanga. Patanga means moth. Okay, an insect. Pradiptam, blazing. Jwalanam means fire. Just as Vishanti, Vishanti means again same, enters. Nashaya, it gets destroyed. Samruddha, fully. Vega, speed. Have you seen moths dashing into fire? Right? The moths, they are, especially during the rainy season, there will be large number of moths. And wherever there is a source of light, they get attracted to that. Okay? And they come with full speed and enter into the blazing fire and they get destroyed. In the same way, Arjuna is saying, Tathaiva Nashaya. Similarly, they are Nashaya for destruction. Vishanti, they are entering. Who are entering? Lokaha, all the people. In Hindi we say log. This log is coming from loka in the Sanskrit. Log means people of this world. Loka, all the people. Tava, your. Api vaktrani. Vaktrani means mouths. Samruddha vega. With full speed they are all coming. People are all coming and entering your blazing mouths. So same phenomena. First we saw the analogy of rivers entering the ocean. Arjuna is now describing the moths entering the fire. I see all people rushing with full speed into your mouths as moths dash into a blazing fire. Full speed they are coming. Right? What does it mean? Helplessness. The moment we take birth, Srila Prabhupada says, along with our birth, death is also born. Along with our birth, death is also born. And it is just time which is separating ourselves from our death. So everyone, that's why it is said, as sure as death. There is nothing as sure in this world as death. Right? There is nothing as, you can be as sure as the death of any person who has taken birth. So here, that is what is shown here. People rushing into Krishna's mouths are compared to what? Moths dashing into the blazing fire. What is a common feature? Helplessness. Yeah. And also full samruddha vega. That is very interesting. Full speed. What does it mean? Rushing. What does it mean?
Without stopping.
Yeah. So Prabhupada says, if somebody says, I am 25 years old, that means 25 years already you have died. So, but generally we celebrate our birthday and distribute sweets, right? So, but what is the use? We have already died this many years and it is just a matter of time. We are going to meet our ultimate death. But before we meet our death, what we do is important. Correct? So there is B, birth, D, death. Between birth and death, you have to do C, chanting. You have to engage in devotional service. See, if there is no C between B and D, then we are like any other living entities, 84 lakh species of life, who take birth in ignorance, they die in ignorance. Therefore, we have to engage in devotional service to the Lord. Many lifetimes we have simply engaged in sense pleasures with full speed, full swing, and we have entered like moths entering the blazing fire, we have entered death. Many, many times we have met death. We may not remember, but we have died many times. So much so that just the thought of death makes us scared. Correct? Suppose if a small child, once you take the child to a roller coaster ride, And then the child will be fully scared. No, next time if you say, come, we'll go, she will say, the child, he or she will say, oh, no, I cannot come. Bhaya. Very afraid, like that. So why we are all afraid? Why everybody in this world, people are afraid of death, even to talk about it? Because we have experienced the pain of death thousands of times. It is there etched in our memory, in the subtle body. That's why we don't want to die. Beda. Death, don't talk about death, we say. But death is the surest thing that will happen to every person who has taken birth. So in the Mahabharata, ahani bhutani gachanti amalayam shesham sthavaram icchanti kimascharya atah param, it is said. Yaksha Prashna. So in the Vanaparva of Mahabharata, Yaksha, Yamaraja comes in the form of a Yaksha and he asks many questions to Yudhishthir Maharaj. And he asks this question, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? And Yudhishthir Maharaj replies, ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam. Day after day we see so many living entities are going to the abode of Yamaraja. Shesham sthavaram icchanti. Whereas the other people who have not yet died, what are they thinking? We will remain. We will not die like this, like accident. We will not die like this. We see so many deaths happening, no? Different ways people die. But when we come across those stories, in our mind we tell to ourselves, no, for us it will not happen like this. He went to gym and while doing cardio, he died. For me it will not happen like this. No, I am a good person. Or we may also think that I will settle down here. They may die, but I will live full life. And because I have very good habits, health, everything, so many reasons we say. But none of these. Death is that arrow which can pierce any kind of armor and still hit the target right, 100%. Right? So, in one context I remembered what Prabhupada, some reporter was saying, or somebody was speaking to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, now the mortality rate has come down. Mortality rate means what?
Death ratio.
Number of death ratio. It has improved because our technology, medical facilities have improved like this. Healthcare facilities have improved. So, but Prabhupada said, mortality rate is always 100%. Mortality rate is always 100%. How many people are born? That many people will definitely die. It's just a matter of time. Prabhupada said this. Isn't it? Mortality rate is always 100%, no? So, Shesham sthavaram icchanti. People who have not yet died, they will think, for me it will not happen like this. Kimascharya atah param. Yudhishthir Maharaj said, what can be more wonderful than this? So, death is the most certain thing in this world. But are we preparing ourselves for that? Prabhupada quotes another Bengali proverb and says, I don't remember the exact proverb, he says, when the dried cow dung cakes are burning, the wet cow dung cake is seeing it and laughing. Correct? What is the meaning of this?
He thinks his time will not come, but eventually he will also get right.
Yeah. When old people are dying, we think, Abhi to hum jawan hai. I'm still young. Nothing will happen to me. Oh, they are old, that's why they die. Many times people say also, why he died? Old age, Prabhu died, that's all. So it's natural, people accept. It has to happen. Natural consequence of old age is death. But I am still young. But is there any rule that first come, first go? First come, first serve? May not be. Many times we see younger people also dying. Death can come any moment, no? It can come. So therefore, what are we doing before we meet our next death? We should perfect our life by fully engaging in Krishna's service. We have served, so many entities for many lifetimes. This lifetime, let me serve the Lord. Right? Let me serve my spiritual master's mission. This should be the thinking. Otherwise, another lifetime will just go like that. Patanga, like the moths which are dashing into the blazing fire, death is going to come about. So, these are the analogies in the middle 6 chapters. I hope we have covered all the analogies. We have not missed any. Just check once. Have we covered all the analogies in the Bhagavad-gita? Here we have listed only 6 because I found only 6. So if there are any more, I think the first 6 chapters had a lot of analogies, right? Last week we had discussed so many. Quickly we had to discuss. Today slowly we discuss because there are less number. So next week we will discuss the analogies in the last 6 chapters of the Bhagavad-gita. Okay? So, any questions?
Like who in Bhagavad-gita, Krishna has said that declare to the whole world that my devotees shall not perish. So what does perish mean though? Like because when devotees also die or then fall down, so does that means perish, or perish means attack from the outside and not the person fall?
So, Parikshit Maharaj eventually died at the end of 7 days. So, where is Krishna's form is holding good? You may ask. Krishna said, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee shall never perish. But why did he allow Parikshit Maharaj to die? So our definition of protection is what? Limited to this body. Oh, if the body is protected, oh, then Krishna is protecting us. But many a times Krishna, not many a times, always, Krishna wants to protect the soul, not just the body. So our definition of protection is body should be protected. But body is anyway going to die one day. So therefore Krishna is interested in giving the highest benefit to the soul. In that context, Krishna says, my devotee shall never perish. That means, even if one is, engaged in some accidental, sinful activities, if he is situated in devotional service, Krishna will purify him and take him back to Godhead. That is the meaning. So we should expand our understanding of protection. Right? A devotee who is completely surrendered to the Lord, if the Lord wants the devotee to remain in this material world and do some more activities, then the Lord will protect his body. Like Prahlad Maharaj. So many times Krishna protected against the atrocities of his demoniac father. Because Krishna wanted Prahlad Maharaj to do many more things after that also. So Krishna protected the body of Prahlad Maharaj because he had a higher purpose to achieve through that. But in the case of Parikshit Maharaj had already done so many things. He had executed the will of the Lord, ruled the kingdom, and curtailed the activities of Kali Yuga. So many things. And finally, through his death also, Krishna wanted us to learn something from Parikshit Maharaj. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj taught us the art of dying. Ante Narayana Smriti. At the end of life, he absorbed his mind fully in Krishna's narrations of Bhagavatam, gave up his body. In fact, it is said, much before Takshaka, the snake bird, came and even bit Parikshit's body. Before that only the soul had ascended the Vaikuntha. So therefore Krishna protects the surrendered soul. Ultimately the soul, because that's what it definitely matters. So in that context, my devotee shall never perish. That is true.
So, 11th chapter 5th verse mentioned that Arjuna also made divine forms. What makes a form divine?
So anything connected with the Lord is divine only, right? Because the Lord is showing his form. Definitely it is divine. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. Before that also Krishna says, I'm going to give you divine eyes. Even though the universal form is a display of material energies of the Lord, but since it is displayed by Krishna out of his free will, out of his mercy, so therefore it is divine. In other words, for a devotee anything connected with Krishna, his service is divine. Krishna's mission in this material world is also divine. Nothing is not divine for a devotee, because devotee understands that everything belongs to Krishna. Though it is composed of material energy, it is divine because it is in connection with Krishna. Hari Sambandha Vastu. It is Vastu connected with Hari, therefore it is divine. And of course, as we see the description also, we find different kinds of whatever Krishna had told in the 10th chapter. He is showing that his energies, the Adityas, the Vasus, they are all divinely empowered by the Lord. They are not ordinary persons. So in that way it is divine. Any other question?
So there are two criteria to understand absolute truth. So second one is truth is independent of anything else. So how to perceive this? As you said, example for the other criteria. How to any analogy for this?
Yeah, good. So if you say my name, what is your name? Mahantesh. So my name is Mahantesh. You are Mahantesh. Is it absolute truth or relative truth? Huh? Why it is relative truth?
Identifies.
Somebody has given this name. Name tag has been put to you that you are Mahantesh. Right? Before you were given the name Mahantesh, say you were given the name on your, when were you given your name? After 1 month, 2 months, whatever, of your taking birth. Before that also you existed, but no one called you Mahantesh. I'm just giving an example. So that Mahantesh or our names are all tags, identification tags attached to us just to identify us. We are not our names. So the fact that you are Mahantesh is dependent on the fact that somebody gave you that name. Therefore it is not an independent truth. Somebody gave you. Whereas Krishna is not like that. Krishna is only Krishna himself. Krishna's name is also Krishna himself. That is the meaning of absolute.
When Krishna says that devotees will never vanquish, this is some point of time some devotees will always stay in this world. Devotees of Krishna will always be there at any point of time also. Is it also like that?
Yeah. So devotees will be there. Two types of living entities are there in this material creation. The Suras and the Asuras. Suras are those who abide by the laws of the Lord. They are devotees. Asuras are those who are rebellious against the Lord. So two kinds of living entities always exist.
As Kali Yuga will progress, go more and more, devotees count increase or how does it?
So as the Kali Yuga, towards the fag end of the Kali Yuga, Bhagavatam describes that there will be millions of asuras and a handful number of devotees. That is the time when Lord Kalki will come. He protects this handful of devotees, destroys the millions of demons, and he starts in another Satya Yuga. So for the first 10,000 years, it is a golden age. Number of devotees will increase. This is the prediction in the scriptures. But after that, slowly the Kali effects will overtake. Therefore, we should, Prabhupada always said this. He preached the Krishna consciousness message with a sense of urgency. Vega Visano in this too. So Prabhupada said, this life you should attain perfection in Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead. You should not run the risk of again coming back. So if you don't struggle to achieve perfection in Krishna consciousness, there is anyway we are struggling in the material existence. Like with great force, with great speed, like moths, we are going and hitting the fire of death. So we have to utilize. So Prabhupada always said, in this life, finish your business of Krishna consciousness, go back to Godhead. Even sometimes people say, oh, Krishna says in the 6th chapter, anyway, if I don't attain perfection in this life, next life he will give me human life and I will continue my journey. It's okay. Even though Krishna is saying like that, Prabhupada says don't take that risk. Why? Because as Kali Yuga progresses, situations will become more and more difficult to practice Krishna consciousness. So we should not run the risk of taking a second chance like Ajamila. So we should take, this is our full and final settlement we should do now. Attain perfection and go back to Krishna. We should be very determined. Okay, we'll close here. Granthara Srimad Bhagavad-gita ki jai. Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.